Hi, it's Ronnie, and welcome to Simple Stories Saturday, a scrapbooking collaboration and YouTube hop, where we all use our simple stories to create our layout. And it's hosted by Joanne Bartel. And this is the layout. This is a photo I'm going to be scrapping today. And I'm showing Simple Stories Snap Alphas I'm going to use on my title. A die from Fancy Hero Arts, and then one from Pink Fresh, and then that black one that I keep holding in my hand is Sizzix one. It's called Branches and Leaves, I believe. And the background here, it already has some mixed media printed on it, but I added some gesso, and now I'm going to add a little more color to the background instead of it all being monotone or monochromatic. Anyway, I wanted a little bit more color, so I'm using saltwater taffy and the oxide one, and Primrose by Heidi Swap. And I use the packaging technique, but I just use small places since I'm going around a wreath. And it's not going to look like a wreath when I get done. My intentions was to make a wreath, but I apparently didn't fussy cut enough flowers out for it, and I realized that pretty quick. So after I put a couple down, I decided I was just going to kind of put them here and there wherever I thought it looked good. And so there will be some gaps. It will not be a complete wreath. I, let's see. Oh, I started to do stamping, but oh, I cover it completely up. Somehow, some way, I cover it completely up. So I just cut all that out since y'all couldn't see it anyway. I thought I was putting it in places that it would show. Yeah, how wrong I was there. I must have put too big a mat on my photo to start with, so that covered quite a bit up. And then, of course, flowers and stuff cover the other parts up. I am cutting this flower apart. I I wanted it more three-dimensional instead of a piece that was that big and that flat. And I wasn't sure how I wanted to do it, or I would have done it when I was fussy cutting and added foam tape to the back, on the places I wanted higher than the others. But since I wasn't sure, I decided I could just do it when I started the layout. So you will see a little bit of fussy cutting here. I cut that one, well, I think it was like one leaf worth, and the little bird, and then I also cut that flower. And no, I didn't cut a flower on that one. I did not. Well, there is one attached to the bird. There is that. And I'm putting the extra, well, thicker foam tape behind the bird. So it's up just a little bit higher than the flowers. Now, I could have sworn I moved that photo over far enough where this piece would fit here. I should have tested it. No, I didn't, but I should have. And so I'm having to cut it down. But that's good anyway because I will have layers there then. And I'm putting foam tape under part of it, and part of it I am adhering down. And uh, I like that anyway, so I guess it's serendipitous. Is that what they call it? So yeah, it didn't fit, but now it does. But the one in the upper right hand corner of the photo, I was able to put it down just fine. I got one thing right. Well, not really, because it's not in the wreath form. But yeah, I put those two big pieces down. I thought they'd cover more space, and they didn't. And yeah, it is not going to be a wreath. I felt like I fussy cut enough to go all the way around, whether I did or not. I pulled out this glue sponge again, and that's what it's called, glue sponge. And the last time I used it, I forgot to turn it upside down. One of the reviews I watched said turn it upside down for a few minutes before you start your project. Well, I remembered it this time. It was probably 3 minutes. It was upside down. And it still didn't feel sticky enough. So I kind of pushed down on the sponge. See me doing that right there. Yeah, and I could feel the glue like way down there. It took a while to get down where it was wet. So I will change my mind and put it up. And I will do like the product says. I'm going to store it upside down and see what happens next time I go to use it. I bought it for when I'm doing all these leaves because y'all know I love green and I love leaves. So I am adding leaves all the time when I do flowers. And I thought it sure would be convenient if I had that. And yeah, I might get it right next time, but I figured it was not going to set upside down long enough to get the glue to the top. And I just used my art glitter glue instead, which I love. And did y'all notice I had a new bottle? I ran over the tip. I dropped the glue and ran over the tip of my bottle with my chair and kind of crunched it up. Of course, it's pretty old. I've probably been using it a few years. So, yeah, I pulled out one I had ordered for later, when I run out. And uh, I'm using it. And I also bought new foam things for my mini foam applicator ink thingies. And I got the domed ones because they just kept falling apart on my layouts. And I was having green and brown and different colors on my layout because I tried to pick them up or blow them off. Sometimes that worked. But yeah, I got new ones. They were falling apart. But I did ink all these leaves beforehand. I die cut them out and inked them. And I used, let's see, I used peel paint, um, ponderosa pine that was close to my heart, an old one, and also bundled sage. And oh, I'm putting my title on now. So I'm going to tell you about my photo. I had these kids and we were at Big Spring, and I thought I'd take a photo of them because these steps were so inviting and they're kind of carved out of the stone. And so I told them, sit down, let's go take their picture. And I said, okay, pose. And this is what I got from them. And of course, I loved that. And I went ahead and snapped it. But yeah, so my title is Today, the Best Ever Outtake Loved by the Photographer. Who's me? But yeah, this is one of my favorite photos because instead of just one doing something different, they all did. Not a smile out of any of them. But while I am putting the leaves down, and I love that fern dye. I was hunting for a mushroom dye because I have Simple Stories Lakeside, and of course the mushrooms were going fast. So I thought, well, I'll get a dye and I'll make some. While I was looking, I found this Hero Arts one that had mushrooms, which were okay. I've seen some I liked better, but I loved the ferns, so I got it. And I will be using it to make my mushrooms. Um, Oh, I was telling you that down there below will be the links to everybody else that are doing the Simple Stories Saturdays. And I think there's like a dozen of us now. So plenty of layouts using Simple Stories and probably all kinds of different collections. But be sure to check them out and have fun on this collaboration that happens generally the fourth Saturday of every month, but I do believe next month it'll be on the 5th because it's one of those kind of months. But let's see where I'm at on here. Oh, I still have a few more to add. But don't you love that fern dye? There's 3 leaves and they are a little bit different, and all 3 of them are. And so I cut them out in a lighter green than the other 2. I like a variety of green when I am doing my layouts. Instead of them all having one color of leaf, I like a variety. So I went for 3 here. But I love green, so you can see why I want to add green to my flowers. Um, and I forgot to show the paper pad for that plaid that's behind the photos. It's a Simple Stories one, and I think it's called Gingham and Wood Grains, I think is what it's called. but it does have wood grain paper in there that is kind of distressed with some paints, white and maybe teal and some other colors. And I even think pink. I remember pink too. And then it also has different colors of gingham, but I just layered them all there together and made me a good size frame. I think it's one, two, three, four, 5 layers on that frame. But yeah, I was making sure it was standing out around all those flowers. I used my white linen. I started to say linen white, but white linen by Dilutions and splattered it all over the page, and then it was done. So if you leave a comment down there below, I'll try to get back with you. And if you like the video and hit a thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. And if you are not subscribed to my channel, I would love to have you subscribe. And those of you already are, thank you so very much. And thank you all for watching my video today. And make sure you go check out all the links below to see what everybody else has created, because there is lots of inspiration for simple stories today on YouTube. There's my title, and it is parts of Simple Stories Snap collection, and then a couple of stickers. And I did cover up a very small butterfly there. I wanted the bigger one instead of the tiny one that was printed on that little wood ring. But have a happy scrappy week. Have fun checking everybody's layouts out. Bye.